Hey ZYouth, it's Amanda here. Thanks for joining us. For those who know me, they know that I love the holidays and any type of reason to get together. Whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Easter, the Super Bowl, Valentine's, chances are I can turn anything into a reason to celebrate. I even created a few events of my own, like Clear Lake Day and Lake Town, as a reason to celebrate. Now, I created Clear Lake Day so my friends and I could hang out and go all over Clear Lake, learning the history and different places around town that all of us have grown up in Clear Lake and we already know about. I created Lake Town after years of never being able to attend Tree Town, and I make backstage passes and everything. And that gets them into my backyard where they get to listen to my country music playlist. Now, most of these types of events I love because I love food, and there's always plenty of that during the holidays and parties. But I also love the connection and togetherness. I love being around other people. I love any reason to invite people over to hang out. Extending a simple invitation to someone could be life-changing and you don't even know it. Now, why do we invite others? Well, first off, it's the nice thing to do. People like to be included. But also, inviting is a way to share our gifts. I love to make different recipes and cook, and I love Pinteresting things. So when I have people over, they always get to be included in my love for food by helping me eat it. But inviting also requires a vulnerability. And I think that's necessary when you're trying to build relationships. When I know people are coming over, it's major cleaning time at my house. When we welcome people into our homes, we invite them into the mess and all. We open up ourselves to their judgment. But it also shows others, good, she's just normal like me. But most importantly, inviting reflects God's invitation to all of us. He invites us to have a relationship with Him. A relationship that's always an open door and it's free from judgment. God isn't going to judge you for the clothes you wear or the color of paint you have in your house. He loves us no matter what. And the enemy, he wants us to feel rejected. He wants us to feel uninvited. And I hope that we can change that. So a few weeks ago, my daughter had her 9th birthday and we decided to let her have some friends sleep over. So it was a Saturday night and the next morning we were going to have to go to church and we were going to drop her friend off at home. So Sunday morning rolls around and we're getting ready for church and we're, it's craziness in the mornings at our house. So we're getting ready for church and we hop in the car and we've got to take her friend home. And on the way, I'm telling my other daughter, Avery, telling her, okay, you're gonna have to help out with Z-Kids for this next service. You're gonna run the computer. And I'm telling her all the different things she's gonna have to do. And so we're talking about that and Aubrey's friend says, well, what's Z-Kids? And that's like every parent's like, all right, let me tell you about Jesus. But I sat in the front and I let my kids, handle it. And they said, oh my goodness, have your mom drop you off on Wednesday nights. Have your mom drop you off at 5:30 at the church. And they're telling her, just have your mom bring you. We're there. You'll see us. You'll find us. And Aubrey just kept saying, yeah, come. It's going to be fun. Have your mom bring you at 5:30. I'm going to be there. And Avery said, yep, it's super fun. I'm going to be there too. And it was just, they didn't describe what they did, what it was going to be. They just said, you should come because I'm going to be there. And we got to church and I kept thinking about that car ride. And the part of the story that I couldn't stop thinking about was the because. You should come because. You should come because I'm going to be there. If I were to tell someone, hey, Sunday morning, Zion Lutheran Church, be there because I'm going to be there, would that be reason enough for someone to want to come meet me there? Am I a good enough reason for someone to want to go somewhere? Am I living a life worth wanting to mimic? Now, we teach people to invite others to church, and we're constantly telling you guys to bring your friends to church. We tell you to spread the good news, to tell people about Jesus, to preach the gospel. But I think we first need to start by taking a look at ourselves and live out the gospel. We need to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We need to love one another. We need to serve one another. When we say to love our neighbor, let's actually do that. Let's be the reason someone wants to come to church. Let's be the type of person others want to be around. Now, I want to take you to the story of Lazarus real quick. Pastor Jason had preached on this a few weeks ago, and it really stuck with me. He said the things that break our hearts also break for Jesus' heart. Now, in John 11, it tells the story of a man named Lazarus. So a man named Lazarus was sick. He lived with his sisters, Mary and Martha. And so his two sisters sent a message to Jesus telling him, "Lord, your dear friend is very sick." Now, although Jesus loved Mary and Martha and Lazarus, he stayed where he was for the next couple days. Finally, he said to his disciples, "Let's go back to Judea." And his disciples objected and said, "Well, Rabbi, only a few days ago, the people in Judea were trying to stone you. Are you sure you want to go there again?" And so he goes there. Lazarus is already dead. He had been dead for 4 days and was already in the tomb. And as you can imagine, Mary and Martha are upset and crying, and everyone is deeply saddened. Now, verse 33 says, "When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her were also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled." So everyone around was heartbroken. They're sad. They're crying. And Jesus felt that. He was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. And so he says, "Where have you taken him? Where have you laid him?" he asks. So it was at this time Jesus brought Lazarus back to life. Now, two things stick out to me in this passage. When the disciples tell him, just a few days ago you were there and they stoned us. This wasn't just they don't really like us there and they're going to call us names. This is they don't like us and they want to physically hurt us. Jesus still went back. He went back to see Lazarus in a place that wasn't welcoming to him before. That's the kind of love and friendship I want to have. I hope to have friends who, no matter what they have to go through, they want to come help me. And the other thing that I think of is Lazarus, he must have been one heck of a good friend. The kind of friend that makes your heart completely break when you're gone. Now, I don't want my friends to be hurting, but I hope that I would make that big of an impact in their life that when I am gone, they would mourn with me in a way that Jesus feels that pain. The kind of pain that he felt for the others with Lazarus, that he would bring him back to life. Be somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. So how do we achieve this? Now, most of you have heard the saying YOLO, or you only have one life to live, so make the best of it now. But what does that actually look like? Ask yourself, am I making the most impact doing the things that I'm doing right now? When you go to school, or you go to work, or you go to basketball practice, are you making a difference to those around you? A simple hello, a compliment, or a helping hand can go a long way. And most of you might not think that. You might think, I can say hello to everyone and it's not going to make a difference. And I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Most of you know I work at Culver's, and we have a lady who comes in, I'm not kidding, probably just about every day. She lives alone. Her husband died a few years ago, and she comes in just to be around other people. She sits at home all alone all day long, and the only interaction she gets is when she comes in to eat her lunch. And she had told us that one day, and it just broke my heart. So now every time she comes in, we make it a point to say hello to her and to go sit out and talk with her and just ask her about life. So simple things like that can go a long way. What is it that you want to do to make your mark in the world? I want you guys to spread happiness. This is something that each one of us can do every single day. And I know it might not always be easy because we do have our bad days. There's days you just don't want to do anything. You don't want to talk to anyone. But it's something that doesn't require skills, money, or popularity. Happiness and kindness can be contagious. Perform acts of kindness whenever and wherever you can. I also want you guys to encourage others. When we support others, we show them that they too can make a difference. Because who knows, you might be encouraging the next Taylor Swift or the next Albert Einstein. Now Luke 6:31 says, do to others as you would like them to do to you. So I think the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, is a good starter. Being a good friend, someone who is trustworthy, someone who's respectful, a good listener. Having confidence in knowing not just who you are, but whose you are. Dr. Seuss said, there is no one alive who is youer than you. So don't compare yourself to others. When you find your identity in Christ, lean into that. God's love for us is perfect and unconditional. And do not let the lies that Satan uses to hinder you from seeking and growing in your faith. Church is for the hurting, it is for the broken. Church is for the good, and it's for the faithful. Church is for the sinners and believers. But most importantly, church can be wherever it is that you are. It doesn't have to be in this building. Church can start in a ride home, telling your friend to go somewhere because that's where you're going to be. It could be at the lunch table talking about life. It could be on the basketball court doing a 3-point shot. Be the church. Kindness, compassion, and above all else, love can be the start of your own ministry to those around you. Without knowing it, you can be influencing people who in turn are influencing people. So never underestimate the power of a simple smile or a good deed. So where is it that you want to leave your mark? And how are you influencing others for good?